The first speaker is someone who's in very familiar territory because I roped this person into speaking in Omaha, and it's someone who I've really enjoyed getting to know and doing service, and I've known her for many years now, and she has a great message, a great program, and she's always been a real inspiration for me. She also happens to be the secretary of the Midwest Zonal Forum, so she also does service there. And by the way, Rick, who is one of our co-facilitators. So with that, I will turn it over to Patty Kay from Kalamazoo.
Hey everyone, I'm an addict named Patty. Yes, I was roped into speaking. This is not my favorite thing to do. Matter of fact, I've been like literally crapping my pants. So, and I say that because I've been on the WhatsApp for the last 20 minutes being razzed because I said I'm pooping because I'm freaking out. And I'm always first. Am I the fluffer or the warm-up band? Like, why do I always have to be first? Just once I want to be second. Anyway, I am very active in my area, region, and zone. I'm also the multi-regional service learning days chair again this year. So I'm super excited to be working on that. Boy, I don't even know where to begin. I guess like, okay, I walked into treatment by myself. I drove myself November 9th, 1989. I got involved with service 6 months later, and well, that's not true. I guess I got involved with service at my first meeting. I got cleaned back when we had ashtrays to empty. Therefore, that's what I did. I filled them, then I emptied them. And yeah, and then smoking went away for me and the meeting, so it's all good. I got involved with area service at 6 months. I did a year of co-secretary and then about a half a year of secretary when I decided that I was going to go back out and use again. I used exactly 4 times in a 6-month period, and I still showed up and did area minutes. I still showed up to meetings, not a lot, but I did. The shame and guilt was overwhelming, literally making me sick. So my last use was, instead of going to our Michigan Regional Convention, I went and really got wasted. It was almost like I felt like I had to do it in order to come back. I don't even know, but I came back on a Tuesday, which was July 7, 1992. And I didn't really even surrender until the next Saturday. And when I say I didn't really surrender, I mean, I was still planning to go out to a bar that Saturday, even though I'd stayed clean those days. And it wasn't until my sponsor showed up and pretty much, you know, what are you going to do at a bar? You know, you don't go to a whorehouse and play the piano, right? You're going to go to the bar and you're going to drink. And it's like, I didn't think I was, but anyway, regardless, long story too long, I got clean and stayed clean. I surrendered that night. I went to the area meeting to get honest and give up my service position, and surprise, you showed up, you did your minutes, you did them on time, we're going to let you keep doing the minutes. And, you know, I say that when I usually say it, I say, you know, darn it, I had to, you know, darn it. But in retrospect, that was the best thing that ever happened to me, because for the first time ever, I felt needed and loved and wanted, because I certainly didn't need or love myself, even sort of, and I didn't want myself. And I was too chicken to do anything harmful to myself except be miserable. So that was basically my life for many years. I began working harder on my step work, working harder in recovery, working harder with sponsees and my sponsor, and of course, service work. I got more service work and got involved with different positions in area, different positions on our convention. Yeah, so I got married in recovery. I had children in recovery. I got divorced in recovery. there's a large portion of my recovery that I feel like I was dead, like not like I would go to a meeting or two, I would do a little bit of service. I never completely unplugged from service, because if I did, I was going to go away, and I knew that. So my story has always been about service. I was thinking, you know, what do I share about? What do I share about? Well, I feel like I have a life outside of service, but I don't have a life outside of service, because I literally grew up in Narcotics Anonymous. I was 23 years old when I got clean. I was a kid. I played really, really hard before I got clean. And so I didn't have to use a long time before I got done. And when I realized that the Narcotics Anonymous fellowship, I don't want to say needed me, because it didn't, but I needed it, but it felt like it needed me. Therefore, I knew I was worthy enough to be there, if that makes any sense. Like, I can't even explain it more than that. So I just kept plugging on and plugging on and plugging on. And it was probably a year and a half after my divorce that I like woke up and said, what in the heck am I doing? And then I just really got involved. I got involved at Region. I got involved with World Services. I got involved with the Zone. And it was all like over a period of years that all of this happened. But I was just in awe and in shock of how much more recovery there was out there away from Kalamazoo, Michigan. Like, I thought I was like ego says I was the kingpin in Kalamazoo, which I wasn't by far. There's plenty of people that were way more experienced than I was, but I was very involved. And so when I showed up at Region, I was like this little minnow in this ginormous ocean, and there was so much to learn. And so as I gobbled up all the information and began to grow and grow and grow, you know, this little minnow turned into this ginormous fish, whatever big fish you can think of. I don't know fishes, so I can't tell you what kind I was, but I was really big because I kept swallowing all of the knowledge that I was getting and continuing to learn, and learning how to be around other people. Like, I used to be accused of being controlling, way worse than I am now. So anybody who knows me, don't start teasing me, because I am better. I was really stuck in what I thought I knew, you know, and so I was really grateful to hit the Region and start learning stuff that I didn't know. And I am still learning stuff I don't know. I've learned how to be patient. I've learned how to be tolerant. I've learned how to be, I've learned how to work with people I don't even like deep-seated not like people. Like, there's certain people that have hurt me to my core that I can still sit in a room and do service work with, and do it lovingly and with patience and tolerance. And I'm often asked, how do you deal with that? How can you do that? And all I can say is practice, right? If we keep showing up and we keep doing the next right thing, and we keep remembering what our primary purpose is to carry the message to the addict that still suffers, and that's why we keep showing up, it's easier and easier to deal with people that I don't like, because they're so inconsequential to what I'm doing. What I'm doing is here to save my life. People think, oh, you do so much for us. And it's like, no, I do so much for me, because if I wasn't doing this, I don't think I'd be here. With 28 and a half years clean, I feel like I'm just getting to the surface of shit. And honestly, I've come so far in my personal recovery too. Like, about 3 years ago, I started on a journey of eating different, being different, feeling different. I had gained about 100 pounds, I guess, from what I should weigh. I've lost 95 pounds of that. I didn't do it with surgery. I did it with food, with what I eat. I don't exercise. I'm allergic to exercise. So in that journey, I learned how to be gentle with myself. I learned how to love myself. I learned how to not need service to tell me I'm okay, because I used to find my identity in service. And And then COVID hit and took the service that I was so accustomed to away. And I was so relieved to know that I was still here and I was still okay. Like, that is so huge, because people accused me of just being, you know, into service and that I had no personal recovery. And I'm like, what the hell do you know, right? and what I'm really grateful for is that I get to know that I'm okay, and that I don't need other people to tell me that I'm okay. It helps. It's nice to hear, but I intuitively know that I'm doing what I need to do for my recovery. I'm still writing steps after all these years. I still work with sponsees, and we work steps all the time. I think out of all my service work, sponsorship is one of my favorites, and I do a ton. H&I is a close second, you know, web servant's the third. I love my web servant stuff. And that's the other thing, like, I've got to learn skills in this fellowship that I never would have dreamed of learning. Computer stuff. I learned how to put on an entire convention. And so I was able to do that as the PTO president at my kids' school. For years, I put on carnivals. People are like, how do you know how to do that? I said, well, it's an ancient Chinese secret, so I can't tell you. However, I know that in my heart of hearts, Narcotics Anonymous taught me how to do it. You know, taught me how to be patient with parents that didn't show up for their commitment to run a carnival thing, you know, and other moms going, how can you be so patient with them? Again, the ancient Chinese secret of Narcotics Anonymous. I am super blessed that I kept showing up and that I didn't go away and stay away. I watched so many people come in here and do some stuff and then leave. And I remember sharing in Omaha, I think I shared it in Omaha, that I was so afraid of my service commitment being over as the regional delegate, that I started taking on other commitments just to make sure that I stayed plugged in. I didn't want to be the statistic of, you know, doing regional delegate at the world and going to world services and doing all this stuff and then dropping out and fading away. I do believe that service saves lives. I do believe in the showing up to carry the message to the addict that still suffers, that's the bottom line, and that is the real deal. I wasn't sure what I was going to share, so I looked something up in the book, in the Living Clean book on page 120. Certainly, as we recognize that we are loved and cared for, we realize that our lives really are different from what they had been. We matter in the world. We have made a contribution to people around us and to people we can't see. The love we've shared, the families we've been part of, the meetings we've started and served and shared in, all of these have been a form of amends, a way of making peace with ourselves and our world. We are grateful for what we have and we are grateful for what we have and what we have had. And we know better than most people that death is not the worst alternative. We have seen others. No, okay, that's all. So, but yeah, like I do realize that I have relationships that will never go away. I mean, I have people that over on the west side of the United States giving me, you know, encouragement today, telling me they love me, people teasing me about pooping, and, you know, people that I probably haven't even met face to face teasing me about pooping. I wasn't pooping though. I wasn't. I was just, you know, the term, I'm shitting my pants. I'm so nervous, right? But I'm just blessed. I'm blessed to be able to say I know people from all over the world, and not just on a hey, how you doing level. Like, I've been able to sit and do service with them, and that's been a priceless gift to me. And then to be able to help out on things like this. The last one I helped on, I think I was on for 18 hours, and it just seemed to fly by. It was the most wonderful, fulfilling experience. And then when it comes to my personal recovery, I'm one of those people that, thank God, can connect on Zoom. I hear so many people saying, oh, I just can't. Oh, I just can't. And it's like, just try, because honestly, we get what we want to out of it, right? We get what we what we want to. If we want to get our whole self, we'll get our whole self. If we want to go find somebody to screw, we'll find somebody to screw. You know, that whole saying that people say, you know, I have someone in my area that says it's like the hokey pokey. If you put your whole self in, you'll get your whole self out, right? And I've loved that forever. I think I heard that like week 2 of my recovery. And I just love the fact that I can connect on Zoom and that I don't feel like I'm a million miles away from you guys. You know, when I see my friend over in Australia on a Zoom meeting, I feel like I'm sitting with him, doing a meeting with him, and like he's in the next room. Like it's just amazing. I've gotten invited to be a home group member in meetings that are not in my area because I keep showing up and I keep supporting the group. It's just, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I know that I'm just super grateful that I have been blessed with Narcotics Anonymous in my world and that I can embrace all that means. If that means I got to go to Zoom meetings, you know, five days a week, then that's what that means, or 7 days a week. How many days are in a week? See, I'm really nervous. That's okay. I am currently still involved at the zonal level. When I rolled off of regional delegate, I had to take a position. I didn't have to take a position. I wanted to take a position because it'd be real easy for me to busy up my time and just, if I don't have to be there, I probably won't be there. But that I'm afraid to test that, to be honest. I'm afraid to test it. I don't know what that means about me, but I guess I'll keep looking that up. I am currently about to take a 10th step. So I get to take a look at all of this every day for a minute. Even though I usually practice a good 10th step in my life, I am going to write about it now. So I'm excited about that. I'm always excited to write steps. Learning a lot about the concepts and the traditions, always. Practicing being open-minded and willing to do new things. And I don't know, you know, like I said in Omaha, I will always have, and I will always have a service Woody for doing service work in Narcotics Anonymous. It is a large part of my identity. However, I am learning that it's not my whole identity. And so that's been exciting. Supporting meetings that I don't normally support in the face-to-face world because there was so many choices before and now there isn't. So that's been really cool to go to various meetings. I go to probably, I want to say 5 Zoom meetings a week and probably 3 to 4 face-to-face meetings. So I feel like the pandemic has upped my personal recovery. You know, I got real stagnant before. I was going to 1 or 2 meetings a week. And to say that I go to, what I just say, I can't do math. I go to a lot of meetings a week. And I've never, since I was super young in recovery, I don't think I've done that many meetings. When there was no face-to-face meetings, I was going to probably 2 or 3 meetings a day because I could. It's so convenient and it's so amazing to just put in an earbud, do my work at work and listen to a whole meeting. I feel like the ones that are afraid to do it don't understand how wonderful it can be. I've convinced a couple people that they should at least try it. And it's been really good. One was a sponsee that just couldn't connect. And then she was asked to speak. And when she did, of course, she was amazing. But then the feedback from the newer members who got clean on Zoom and never been to a face-to-face meeting and actually shared some real recovery, she really realized that it works, that you don't have to be face-to-face to get the atmosphere of recovery. So that was also a blessing to experience that with her. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where I want to go or where I need to go from there. I know that that's pretty much my long ass story in a short ass time. I can read this and be done. We don't get long-term recovery without having relationships, both in and out of the rooms. It's the meat and potatoes of life. It's the meat and potatoes of life and the dessert. Relationships affect everything we do and everything we are. The ways we respond to our experience shape who we become. When we are willing to stay in recovery, to allow ourselves to grow and change, we experience a full range of emotions. That we get clean at all is a miracle, but it doesn't stop there. We grow to be steady, reliable, loving people who can be a force for change in the lives of other addicts and beyond. And I kind of feel like that's my truth. Like I just kept coming back and I just kept staying true to myself. And now I'm becoming my authentic self, which I didn't even know existed. I wore many masks for many years. And now I'm beginning to feel and practice being me. And it is practice, right? They talk about practicing these principles in all our affairs. I use that saying so much because I have to remind myself to practice my authentic self in all my affairs, because it's so easy to just slap on a mask and be something that I'm not just to get through the situation. Just like coming here right now, I feel like I've been all over the place, and who knows if I shared a message or not, I don't know, but it's who I am. I'm a mess when I have to share, and that's their fault for asking me. That's what I think. But I am grateful that I didn't say no, and I'm emotional. The more I practice, the better I'll get at it, right? So I'm not afraid of who I am. I'm not afraid of sharing who I am. I just share it better when it's one-on-one or around some tables or in a meeting without being spotlighted. Because I'm trying to look at, see it, Christine L., whoever you are, I've been watching you the whole time. So thank you for smiling. Thank you for making me feel comfortable. Because I really, really needed to focus on somebody who felt warm, and you're in my upper bar there. So thank you. And hopefully I can meet you someday. And that's all I got, guys. Thank you for listening and putting up with me.
Thank you for sharing, Patty.